Originally published in Spain in 1992, A Heart So White by Javier Marías was translated into English by Margaret Jull Costa in 1995. The novel is written in an oblique, recursive style, reminiscent of the long, complex, and nuanced sentences of Henry James. On the surface, it is a family mystery, a man's quest to uncover the truth about his father's 3 marriages. But beneath this, Marías constructs philosophically rich, digressive interior worlds, creating a sense of entrapment for his characters. To some readers, this structure evokes the existential prisons of consciousness found in works like Sartre's No Exit. The narrative structure is circular, with characters repeatedly failing to connect with one another, trapped in cycles of frustration as they try to bridge the gaps between them. Central to the story is Juan, who suspects that his father's second wife, his own aunt, committed suicide shortly after their honeymoon. Juan works as a high-level interpreter, mediating conversations between delegates and representatives at multilingual international congresses. His role is to be a transparent, neutral conduit, faithfully translating words without adding or altering meaning. Yet, he is preoccupied with the notion that even a subtle change in tone or phrasing could alter the meaning of an entire conversation and ultimately shift the dynamics of a relationship. As he listens in on these discussions, Juan realizes that he is often the only person in the room who fully understands both sides of the exchange, tasked with preventing misunderstandings. One day, he is paired with Luisa, another interpreter who supervises his work during a meeting between 2 heads of state. Drawn to her, Juan flirts by subtly adjusting his translations, moving from being a mere mirror to a manipulator of the dialogue. He imagines that, by reshaping the conversation, he could solve the issues at hand, as if rewriting the words could align the leaders perfectly. Instead of correcting him, Luisa plays along, and the 2 eventually marry. However, it is unclear whether Juan's feelings for Luisa are driven by deep passion or simply a sense that it is time to settle down. He appreciates the comfort and companionship, as well as the security of having someone beside him at night. But as his job often requires him to travel, Juan is away for weeks at a time, leaving behind a marriage that seems to balance between emotional intimacy and a sense of practical arrangement. When Juan has to spend 8 weeks in New York shortly after their marriage, Luisa remains in Madrid to set up their home for their life together. During Juan's absence, Luisa begins to form connections with the people in his life, including his father, Ranz, and Custardoy, the son of Ranz's best friend. Ranz, an art dealer with a magnetic charm that hasn't faded even at 70, has been married 3 times. As Luisa gets closer to him, she learns more about his mysterious past. Ranz's first wife, whose identity was kept secret from Juan, died under unclear circumstances in Cuba, possibly in a fire. His second wife, Juan's aunt, tragically shot herself in a bathroom during a family dinner shortly after her honeymoon. As Luisa shares the details she uncovers from her conversations with Ranz, Juan is forced to confront whether he truly wants to learn what has been hidden from him. Despite his career as an interpreter, where he meticulously listens to others to translate their words accurately, he starts to realize that listening can be dangerous. He becomes increasingly aware that uncovering certain truths might come with unsettling consequences. Reflecting on his father's relationships, Juan is also compelled to scrutinize his own marriage and its lack of deep passion. He grows anxious that Luisa might be seeking this missing passion elsewhere, possibly with Custardoy, a known womanizer who is quick to express his attraction to beautiful women. Although the novel sidesteps the expected suspense of its premise, focusing instead on philosophical musings and digressions, the pace quickens dramatically in the final quarter as the hidden truths about Juan's family emerge. The title, A Heart So White, finds its meaning in Lady Macbeth's words to her husband after the murder of King Duncan and the guards. "My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white," implying her lack of remorse. Ranz ultimately reveals a devastating secret. The death of his first wife wasn't accidental. He confesses to killing her while she slept, after feeling slighted by her indifference. To conceal his crime, he set fire to the scene, creating a mystery that would haunt his family for years. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.